Avery.
Oh, Margot. Good evening.
It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it has. Oh, by the way, I noticed that your mom has been picking up your child from kindergarten these past few days. I also heard that your husband was in a car accident and got hospitalized. Is that why?
Yeah, pretty much. He got into an accident while he was away on a business trip, so he's actually pretty far from home.
Oh, I see. So that's why you've been going to visit him in the hospital?
Exactly. My mother-in-law is going to take over in a few days, but until then, I've had to leave the kids with my mom.
That sounds really tough. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know, okay?
Thanks, Avery. I appreciate it. Anyway, I should check in on my husband.
Wow, you're really hyped up. What's going on?
Okay, so I was just messaging Avery a little while ago.
Huh? Avery?
Yeah, I mentioned how my husband got into that accident and had to be hospitalized, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Well, guess what? My mother-in-law, who adores my son, immediately panicked when she heard that I was the one taking care of him. She was all, "I'll do it. I'll take care of my grandson." Like she couldn't stand the thought of me being first in line. So she rushed over to my husband's hospital, all eager to play the doting grandma. And you bet I took full advantage of that. Now I am currently on a trip with Avery's husband, Daniel.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Oh, I haven't told you the full story yet, have I? Well, here's the juicy part. My boyfriend is actually my mommy friend Avery's husband. Yep, his name is Daniel, and let me tell you, he is exactly my type. Like the moment I saw him, I knew I had to have him. So a year ago, I made it happen.
Oh, wow.
And now, the universe just handed me the perfect opportunity. Daniel had to go on a business trip, and my husband's accident just so happened to overlap with it. Lucky me, right? So I told everyone I need to go take care of my husband in the hospital, but really, I hopped on a plane with Daniel instead.
Huh?
But here's the best part. I decided to test the waters a bit, so I sent Avery a little probing message. I told her I'm at my husband's hospital taking care of him, and you won't believe her response. She said, "If there's anything I can do to help, let me know." She has no idea. Her precious husband is off with me, and she doesn't even suspect a thing. And guess what? My husband is also completely clueless.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, I just got a message from him too. "I feel awful that I messed up and now you have to handle everything alone. I'm really sorry." Meanwhile, I was literally reading that message while snuggled up in bed with another man. Isn't that just the funniest thing?
You really think so?
Of course, it's just too perfect. Everything is going so smoothly, I almost feel scared. Almost.
Well, you certainly sound like you're enjoying yourself.
Oh, totally. The thrill is absolutely addicting. And you know what? Daniel's supposed to fly home today.
Wait, today?
Mm-hmm. But he told Avery that he'd be gone for another 2 days. So now we get 2 whole days of uninterrupted, no strings attached, total freedom. No prying eyes, no interruptions, just us.
You seem pretty confident, but are you sure this won't blow up in your face?
What? Of course I'll be careful, but I'm not some amateur. Besides, you should worry about yourself. Don't let Good morning! Just woke up. Last night, Daniel and I had this amazing dinner with the finest wine. And of course, the night was just as spectacular.
You're in a great mood.
Obviously! Oh, that reminds me. I've got some photos you took for me. Let me show you.
You two look close.
Right? We're practically inseparable. Anyway, today's plan. We're heading to the hot springs together. And yes, it's a mixed bath.
I see.
Well, he's calling me, so I gotta go. Catch you later. I'm home. I just got back from my trip. Oh, what a blissful time. Gotta thank my husband for getting into that accident.
Welcome back, Margot.
Huh? Wait, come on now. Why are you talking to me like we're so distant now?
Where are you now? Similar, so maybe that's why you mixed them up?
Wait, Abby? No. That's a terrible joke, Avery.
Still haven't realized, huh? Maybe take a second and check. Who exactly have you been messaging all this time?
What? Wait, no way.
Figured it out?
No way. Avery? Not Abby?
That's right. The person you've been gleefully spilling all your dirty secrets to is none other than me, the wife of your so-called boyfriend.
No. Then Daniel.
Oh, he just came home, smiling ear to ear. He's now sitting on the living room floor right in the middle of a very intense lecture.
Lecture?
Both his parents and mine are standing around him, arms crossed, glaring down at him.
No way.
Oh, and thanks for those lovely photos of your little romantic getaway. They made it real easy to get him to sign the divorce papers.
Wait.
By the way, about your sister, didn't you mention in your messages that she's been cheating too?
What?
With your mother-in-law, no less. While his wife was away taking care of her injured husband, she was sneaking into your house, messing around with her son's wife. Disgusting, isn't it?
Wait!
And you? Your husband got into an accident, and instead of rushing to be by his side, you were off having a grand old time with my husband. What a wonderful wife you are.
No, that's...
Oh, speaking of your husband, he was transferred to a hospital here in the city a few days ago.
What?
And he got permission to go home today, so he's currently at your house with your mother-in-law.
No way.
Naturally, I told them everything about your sister, about your mother-in-law.
What do you mean, everything?
Your husband and mother-in-law have already decided to get divorced.
Already?
Yep. All of that was sorted while you were busy sending me your little, oops, wrong person messages. Now it's just you left.
No.
Tonight's gonna be a rough one for you. Good luck.
Asking.
Well, he took a random woman along on a business trip, and not just any woman, his mistress. Once the company found out it was a full-blown cheating getaway, it was over. Given that he was on a company-sponsored trip and considering the internal marriage policies, firing him was the only logical choice.
That's not fair.
Why not?
Daniel and I are completely broke after paying you and your husband the settlement money. On top of that, my husband got full custody, so I have to pay child support. We can't survive like this. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Not really my problem.
But you won't be getting child support from Daniel either.
Oh, no worries. I had him pay it all up front along with the settlement.
Wait, what? Where did he get that kind of money?
He took out a loan.
My mother-in-law and I, we're all in debt because of that settlement. And now we're all unemployed. We were supposed to move in with Daniel tomorrow so he could support all four of us, but now he's unemployed too. What are we supposed to do? Avery! Avery, answer me!
According to the neighbors of my ex-husband's family, it seems that my ex-husband, Margot's former father-in-law, and Margot's younger sister had all been living together in what used to be my home. At first, I didn't know how to feel about it. The house, the place where I had spent so many years of my life with my ex-husband, was now shared by 4 people who didn't seem to have a clear routine or sense of stability. They didn't even follow regular meal times. It wasn't a typical household. It was almost as if they were living entirely separate lives while sharing the same space. For From what the neighbors said, it seemed like each of them had multiple jobs. The fact that they were hardly ever at home during normal hours led people to speculate that they were working various shifts to make ends meet. Maybe it was just about schedule, trying to get by the best they could. Still, I couldn't help but wonder why they all seemed so lost, as if they were running from something. As for me, my life had taken a very different turn. I had left the house and returned to my parents' place with my child. It wasn't ideal, but it was the best I could do. My parents had been a great support system, always there when I needed them, especially when it came to helping me with childcare. Raising a child alone wasn't easy, but having them by my side made things more manageable. They helped with the little things like watching my child while I worked or offering advice when I needed it. It was a humbling experience, but also one that made me realize how much I had taken for granted before. I had always been independent, but now I was leaning on my family more than ever. Fortunately, I had been able to get a part-time job at a local supermarket. It wasn't much, but it allowed me to earn some money and start rebuilding my life. There was a sense of pride in being able to support myself and my child, even if it meant doing something that felt like a step backward. At least it was something. The goal was always to work my way up, and I was determined to aim for a full-time position as soon as I could. I knew it would take time, but I was ready to work for it. The idea of becoming a permanent employee was motivating. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it, that I was capable of creating a stable future. A few months passed, and my life seemed to settle into a routine, though nothing ever felt quite the same. Then something unexpected happened. My ex-husband, who had been living with Margot and the others, disappeared one day. It was as if he had just decided to leave without any warning. He didn't pack up his things, didn't leave any explanation. He simply walked out the door and never returned. At first, I thought it was some sort of temporary absence, that maybe he had gone somewhere for work or just needed some space, but the days passed and there was no sign of him. Soon after, Margot's father-in-law and sister also started to disappear one by one. It seemed like they were all just vanishing. The neighbors kept telling me how strange it was, how the house that had once been full of life was now silent. No one knew where they went or if they were even in the area anymore. It felt like a ghost story, like they had all just disappeared off the face of the earth. There was a strange sort of relief mixed with confusion. Part of me wanted to know what had happened to them, to understand why they had left so suddenly. But another part of me was just glad that they were gone. The chaos, the uncertainty, it was all gone. I didn't know how to process it. What had led to their disappearance? Were they running from something, or had they all just decided they needed to go their separate ways? I could feel a mix of emotions: curiosity, frustration, even a little anger. There were so many unresolved feelings tied up in all of this. I couldn't help but think about the years I spent with my ex-husband, how we had tried to make things work, how I had struggled to hold on to a relationship that had been slowly falling apart for so long. Margot's role in all of this had always been unclear to me. I never fully understood what she meant to my ex-husband or why she had been so involved in our lives. It had always seemed like she was a shadow in the background, always lurking, always there. Even when we tried to live our lives together, she was somehow present in the periphery. I never wanted to admit it, but it felt like there was a part of my ex-husband that had always been drawn to her, as if he was more attached to her than he was to me. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that their disappearing act might have been inevitable. My marriage had been strained for years, and the final straw had always been just out of reach. I think deep down we both knew it wasn't working, but we stayed anyway, because it was easier than facing the truth. But eventually, reality caught up with us. My ex-husband, Margot, and the others had all just vanished, leaving me behind with questions that would likely never be answered. And now here I was, back at my parents' house, raising my child and building a new life. It wasn't what I had expected, but in some ways it was exactly what I needed. It gave me time to reflect, to regroup, and to rediscover who I was without the weight of the past dragging me down. I couldn't keep dwelling on the past, no matter how much I wanted closure. I had to look forward, not back. As time passed, I started to realize something. The disappearance of my ex-husband and the others wasn't something I needed to understand or even solve. It was a part of my past, a chapter that had ended on its own. It didn't define me anymore. It didn't have the power to control my future. I had my child, my family, and a new sense of purpose. I had my job, my goals, and my dreams. I was building a life that was mine, not one that had been shaped by the failures of others. Sure, there were moments when I wondered what happened to my ex-husband and the others. It was natural to be curious, but I realized that the only way to truly move forward was to let go of that curiosity. They had made their choices, and now I had to make mine. My future was in my hands, and that's what mattered most. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. I continued to work hard, to focus on my child, to find joy in the small moments. Every day was a new opportunity to create something better, to build subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.